As promised, it's time for our next speaker, our next millionaire mentor, all right? So the man that I'm about to bring out on stage, I met about a year ago. We've become very good friends. We talk all the time, business stuff, social life stuff, all kinds of stuff. And he is a very, very successful online business, a very big following. I think almost 2 million fans on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, also big. His name is Brandon Carter, but if you follow him on Instagram, you call him King Keto. So let's stand up and let's give Brandon a hell of a Team Capital welcome. Let's bring him up here. Like this.
All right. Nice. Guess I don't get a microphone, right? Fuck me, right? Or no, it's all good. Hey, you know what? Before we get started, man, I just want to thank Jason for inviting me to speak to you guys, man. I always love to speak at his events, and it's always a good crowd. You guys are like the cream of the crop. You're not like the fucking losers who just watch YouTube videos. So it's cool to talk to you. But yeah, can we give it like a little round of applause for Jason for putting this together? That wasn't bad. I thought this was the high status summit, man. Like, and I didn't know I didn't know I was at the high faggot summit, right? Like, we're at the high status summit. Give a round of applause for Jason for putting this shit together. Come on, man. Yeah. Motherfucking right. All right. I didn't mean be all gay about it and kiss his ass, you know, Jesus. Just settle down, man. If you guys, listen, guys, I'm gonna ask you to stop sucking his dick for 1 second so I can teach you guys some gangster shit, all right? How many of you guys don't know who I am? All right, cool. All you guys need to know is that I'm fucking rich, I'm famous, and I've actually turned down more girls than most of you have fucking masturbated to. I mean, true story. And I say all that to say this. Today I'm gonna share with you guys really what I call the Champion Trifecta, and this is what this should work. This is what I used. These are the three things I think you need to accomplish any goal in life, man. How many of you guys got goals and shit? Yeah. All right. Oh, so you don't have goals or shit. No. All right, that's cool. You'll still be entertained regardless. All right, so check this shit out. Is this shit working? All right. I got 3 quick questions before we get started. Question number 1, and take copious notes while you're listening because I'm about to blow your motherfucking minds. I promise you. I assure you of that. Question number 1, I want you to write down. You don't have to share it with me. I don't really give a fuck, but I want you to write down what's the number 1 goal you have that you want to that you're trying to accomplish right now. This is the main thing, you know. Write that shit down. This is gonna be interactive, all right? Then number 2, how long you been trying to accomplish that shit? And kind of like, you know what? And on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being you're a fucking homeless person laying in his own urine. 10, you're me. How close are you to accomplish your goals, you know? How close are you to being there? And number 3, it's a 2-part question. How much, how many of y'all want to make more money? It's good. How much money do you want to have? do you want to make per month, right? Income, right? Write this shit down, because I'm not just here. This ain't gonna be just like motivational shit. Today, it's gonna be like kind of some hard teaching, if you don't mind that. And how much are you making now versus how much you want, right? Because what we're here for is we want to close that gap, man. I want to show you guys how to close the gap between the shit you got and the shit you want. That sound good? Yeah. That sound good? Right, write that shit down. I'll give you a second, man. I'll wait. Yeah. I want you to walk away from this speech actually like with some applicable shit, you know? I'm not going to try to sell you nothing. I'm not going to try to all I want to do is teach. And if you're entertained, that's cool. I don't really care. I want you to make shit happen, you heard? Yeah, this guy knows what I'm talking about. All right, cool. That's why we're here, man. We're here to close the gap. And I believe there's 3 things you need in order to basically accomplish anything you want. And their goals, which is obviously, we're going to get deeper in that. Discipline and energy, right? I call this the Champion Trifecta, right? And when you have those 3 together, you need all of them. And I'll explain in a second. Because when you get all of them, you'll have freedom, right? You'll have freedom, money, bitches, impact, and meaning, right? Like meaning. So let me explain. Now, no matter where you are, no matter how far you are from your goal, you're probably not as far as I started was. I'm from Southside Chicago. Yeah. You must not be from there if you're cheering it on. It's an awful place, a gang-infested wasteland where hope is in short supply. And that's where I grew up. And this is a very harsh environment. I grew up wanting to be like The Rock, because he was only like light-skinned black dude who wasn't a pussy. So he was like my role model. And I was in entertainment. I was really good at music and rapping, but I actually I'll tell you what happened. But I moved to New York to pursue my dream, man, of becoming a famous rapper, right? Like every black, like probably half the black dudes in here. And it wasn't really working out, right? So I got a job I ended up working a bunch of different jobs. One was for a moving company. And in New York, it's very difficult. You know, how many of y'all been to New York City? How many of you heard of New York? Yeah, all right, cool. And when you in New York, like there's a lot of buildings where you have to walk up, they don't have elevators, right? So it's like 6-story walk-ups, like moving shit like this in chairs all day, every day. It's like a full body workout every day. And, you know, still doing like rapping and music gigs on the side. I play guitar, keyboard, drums, and a bunch of other dope shit. And I actually got signed to Sony Records as a rapper and producer. And unfortunately, I got dropped from the label. That's me looking sad, not sexy, man. You can get it. I know it can be misconstrued. I got dropped from the label when they merged with BMG, right? So like I'm in New York, and the most expensive city in the world. I had just accomplished my goals, and then it's like, fuck, man. Like, anybody ever had something like something you really searched for, and it just felt like, damn, it slipped through your grasp, and you felt like you weren't ever going to accomplish that, right? Like real desperation's the bottom. The rest of you motherfuckers, your life's just been a unbroken boulevard of green lights, I suppose. Huh? That's cool. The rest of us know what struggle feels like. And that's what I was there. I was in that pit of desperation. And so I said, man, I still need to get this motherfucking money. So what did I do? So that's what I said, all right, you know what? Because I had a background, Chicago. I said, man, you know what? I should start selling cocaine. That sounds like a viable option. So that's what I did, you know, and I ended up going back and forth for Miami. This is long time ago, way past statute of limitations. There's no need for anyone to go looking into any of this. So I would start going back and forth from Miami, basically trafficking cocaine from state to state. And that's a lucrative business. And I was getting money, man, but man, that's a sexy picture, man. I'm out here. I forget what I was going to say. I got distracted. But okay, Anyway, I was doing that shit for mad long. I was out here getting money, and the problem is, and it was going great. Everything was going great. Right? I was living a dream. Right? The shit that like rappers like talk about, the rappers rap about. I was like doing that shit, like no bullshit. And until I got a call from my sister. Right? I'll never forget. I was in New York. It was summer, kind of around this time of year. And it was really hot day, and I looked, and I saw a bunch of missed calls from my sister in a call, and I picked up, and she said that, man, my dad, he's missing. And they actually found a suicide note. And I was like, nah, I couldn't be, man. That's my dog, that's my, I grew up like, my role model. I didn't believe it, so I flew back to Chicago, and when I get there, I see the note, and I'm still not trying to believe it. I'm thinking, man, it's got to be a mix-up. Something's got to be going on, right? And the next morning, I hear a knock on the door, and it's Chicago Police Department. And they asked me and my mom to sit down, and they say, Mr. Carter, we found your father. He was at a hotel a few blocks, man, with a bullet in his head. And that's when I knew, like, the shit was going to have to change, right? Because I found myself. Now I'm the man of the family, right? I gotta like take care of my mom, my sister, her kids. My grandma was really old at the time, well, she's still old now. But I knew I had to take care of her as well. So I was like, man, this drug dealer shit. Like, and he was involved in some shit he shouldn't have been involved in either. I don't want to go into it, but apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So I knew that I started to see the path that I was on. And at the same time, another friend of mine named SV, he got sentenced to life in prison. And my other boy, Esco, he was in the same line of work as me. And they found him murdered in his car in New Jersey. So everybody who's involved in the wrong shit, they were like dying or getting put away. And I saw that trajectory, right? You guys ever heard you become like the people you're around? You guys ever heard that yet? Well, the people I was around were like, they were meeting their demise. And I didn't want that to happen. In fact, not only that, I had to take care of my family now. So I said, all right, man, let me start. God damn. Who put this together, man? Who put these slides together, man? They ain't gonna get a raise. This whole time I had one of the jobs I had was a personal trainer, right? Ever since I was 17. So I would train people, sometimes in gyms, sometimes just on the side. And I thought, man, what if I took this shit to the next level, right? With my business. So I started to really take personal training seriously and building, but I knew that wasn't gonna give me the kind of money I wanted, because I wanted the ball, I wanted the ball hard, yeah. And so I figured just training motherfuckers one-on-one wouldn't be sufficient. So first I tried raising my prices, and I got some clients, some guys who were in the NFL, and that was cool, but it wasn't like baller money, it wasn't no Jason Capital money. And so I said if I wanted to get it like that, I was gonna have to think bigger. So I said, let me take it online. So I started a supplement company, and I started my online fitness business, right? And I said, let me use social media. I didn't have a lot of money at the time. So use social media and to actually build it, right? I didn't have a lot of money because drug dealers aren't good at saving money, So anyway, so I stopped doing that because I stopped hustling. So I started working 3 jobs. I was personal training, trying to build my online business. I went back to the moving company, and I was working at my boy's restaurant on the weekends. So it's like basically 16-hour days, 7 days a week, man, trying to get it. At the same time trying to build my business. Shit kind of worked though. My Facebook went up to like 1.6 million. I got customers all around the world. Now we have like 15 employees, big penthouse office in Manhattan. I just came from Orlando. That's some of our supplements. I just came from Orlando. You guys heard of ClickFunnels? ClickFunnels, yeah. I wish we would have had it on the slides, but we didn't. I just got my award, 2 Comma Club award. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Yeah. Motherfucking right. That's, they give that to you when you sell over $1 million worth of your own products with ClickFunnels within a year. So we did that, and that's just ClickFunnels. That's not counting Shopify, Lead Pages, Webinar Jam, and the other platforms we use, or even phone calls, sales. But anyway, so yeah, man, we out here balling. I've been able to travel all over the world, see cool things, meet cool people, and give a lot of speeches and shit. And it's all because of the shit I'm about to teach you right now. All right? This is how I did it. Y'all want to know? Y'all want me to break down the Champion Trifecta for you? Sound good? All right, cool. Let's fuck with it. First is goals, right? Now, you got to set goals. That's pretty basic, especially for this audience. I don't want to tell you guys about goals, right? But it's 3 parts of goals. And one is, first you got to have a clear destination, right? You all know that it's basic at first. That's the first start, a clear destination. So a lot of times when people say goals, this shit is fucking vague, right? Oh, I want to fucking ball. Oh, I want to ball hard. But that's not is exactly how much money you want to make and how you want it to look and how you want to make it if that's the goal, right? Like, be precise, because if you don't have if your target's not defined, it's difficult to hit, right? Then you got to have a detailed plan. See, this is where people start to drop off, right? Yeah, I got a goal, I got a clear destination, but then a detailed plan of how you're going to get from here to there. It's kind of like too many people are just fucking winging it, right? Like, if I wanted to drive from here to, I don't know, Tijuana or some shit, right? I wouldn't just get in my car and start driving, right? I put it in a GPS, right? And that would increase my chances of getting there, right? So get a detailed plan. Now, how many people have a detailed plan to accomplish their goals? Yeah, all right, keep your hands up, please keep it. How many of you guys have deadline for each step? Keep your hands up if you do. Right, it's a very small percentage of the room, right? It's very important. You have a deadline for each step of the goal, right? And because sometimes if you have a big ass goal and it's way over there, let's say that's like way in the future, it's very difficult to know what's gonna happen like 3 months from now or a year from now. But if you can just see in front of you and try to hit that next goal. And we'll talk about how to put some of that shit together. But this is very important. This is part of goals, the goal section. Then is discipline. So you need discipline in order to actually carry out this plan you have, right? So the first part of discipline is you have to discipline. The definition of discipline is doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not. All right. And the last part is very important, whether you feel like it or not. Like, a lot of people wait, man, how do I get motivated? Oh my God, how do I get motivation? And I'm like, yo, fuck motivation, man. Motivation means you feel like it, you're excited, right? You're thrilled, you'd be delighted to do it. Well, you're not gonna feel like that all the time, man. You're just not. That's not fucking reality, right? You're a human being, right? You're gonna experience the full range of emotions. Sometimes you're gonna be motivated, sometimes you're gonna be lazy, sometimes you're gonna be happy, sometimes you're gonna be sad, sometimes you're gonna be confident, sometimes you're gonna be insecure. And that goes for all of us. But you do what you're fucking supposed to do anyway, because you're a fucking badass. Or you're a pussy, I don't know, right? If you're a badass, you do what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not. Fuck that motivation shit. I mean, it's cool. The problem with motivation is, if you're motivated, you don't get to use discipline. See, discipline is a habit. It's like a muscle, right? The more you use it, the stronger it gets. But if you're motivated, then you feel like you're literally not using discipline, right? So you're not building that muscle up. So it's almost like the most important time to do shit is when you don't feel like doing shit. Does that make sense? You guys getting that? Yeah. All right. Then the second part of discipline is sacrifice, right? There's gonna be some shit you have to give up to accomplish your goals, you know? You can't really have it all. Yeah, fucking right. You're gonna have to like give some shit up. Like if you wanted, let's say you wanted to be the best father in the world. Well, you probably can't fuck hoes on the weekends, man. You gotta give it up. Or if you wanted to be a world-class player pimp, you probably, can't have the family life that some people have, right? You're gonna have to, depending on how you structure your shit, right? But for the most part, typically, you're gonna have to give something up to get something. And you have to be, most people are willing, you guys are probably willing to do the things you're supposed to do. but not everybody's willing to give up stuff, man. Are you willing to stay up late, right? Sometimes you have to stay up late. Are you willing to sacrifice going to parties, you know, going to movies? I saw Black Panther, right? I had to, right? And but the last movie I saw before that was fucking Creed, right? And it's not because I don't like movies. It's just because, man, I'm trying to win out here, man. I'm trying to win big. I'm not here trying to fuck around, recreation, have fun with you motherfuckers. I'm not trying to make shit happen, man. That's how you do two comma club, you heard? And then the third part is accountability. Like if you have like a coach or a mentor, this will really take it to the next level. Have you guys ever had a gym partner, right? You had a gym partner, right? And you didn't feel like going to the fucking gym that day, but you knew your fucking gym partner's gonna be there? It's more difficult for you not to go, right? Yeah, it made it easy. That accountability, man, we all need that, right? And you gotta set that up in some sort of way, whether it's a mastermind, hiring a coach. I hire tons of coaches in different areas of my life that actually keep me accountable. I fucking pay that guy to keep me accountable. Trillstein, what up? Anyway, yeah, so accountability will really speed things up, especially if it's like you have a coach or a mentor who's like been where you're trying to be, right? Because they can help expedite the process and cut your learning curve in time. You know, cut your learning curve way down. You know, how many of you guys heard of Michael Jordan before? All right, cool, yeah, all right, nice. Well, Michael Jordan, you know, like one of the, in my opinion, the best basketball player of all time, right? Yeah, exactly, you know. And this motherfucker, he couldn't win the championships. He got the right coach, right? He got Phil Jackson. But even before that, right, he kept getting his ass beat by the Detroit Pistons, you know, multiple years in a row. And then he went and got another coach, a strength and conditioning coach, a dude named Tim Grover, right, to help build up his body so he was strong enough to get them hard-ass fouls that the Pistons, they called them the bad boy Pistons because they played so rough. And Jordan was a skinny fuck at that time, and he wanted to be a little stronger so he could handle that. And then, you know, he got stronger and went on to win, you know, 6 championships. And Tim Grover, same story with Kobe Bryant. He didn't win a championship till Tim started working with him. This is in addition to the Lakers staff, right? To the Lakers training staff and all their coaches and Phil Jackson. Then Tim went and trained with Dwayne Wade, and he won a championship. So, you know, like professional athletes, like some of the best athletes of all time, and they need a coach. So why the fuck do we think that we're gonna accomplish our goals without a coach, right? One of my first mentors was a dude named Elliot Holst. You heard anyone heard of him? All right, go. Yeah, he was one of my first mentors, and he like taught me some of the stuff he told me, some of the guidance he gave me, just really helped me expedite the process, right? Like I learned from his mistakes, you know, and even to this day. So like he like cleared the path, and I could just like walk behind him, no homo. And it was definitely easier for me because he had already did it. So if you can have a coach with some accountability, that's going to really take things to the next level. All right, everybody got that? Yeah. All right. Then now here's what the shit that people leave out when they talk about making shit happen. People leave this part out. It's energy, man. This shit is wildly important. And let me tell you what. The first part of energy is health, right? If you're in the fucking hospital with some cancer or some shit, and you're you know getting chemo, well, you're probably not out beating down your goals at the same time, right? If you're dying of some disease, right? You know, you're not out there making shit happen, hustling and grinding, right? You got to stay healthy. You know, how many of you guys had like some big plans one week and then got the flu and you had to just chill? Yeah, man. Health is real. It's like really, really important. This is like the fuel. This is the fuel you need. Another one is your mindset. It's how many people had like some big goals or some shit they wanted to accomplish, then they had a breakup or something like that? Yeah, and it slows you down. Yeah, man. Yeah. One of my favorite quotes is from a movie called Belly with DMX and Nas. And one part, DMX said, "Man, bitches will fuck your whole shit up." Man, that truer words have never been spoken. I'm sorry to any bitches or women in the room. See what I did there? All right. I thought that was funnier than it was. I was calling y'all bitches and then all right. But yeah, like if you're like going through something, like if you're around negative people, have they ever brought you down or stopped you, right? You become like the people you're around. Negative people, negative influences, that'll slow you down, man. And it'll zap your what? Your energy, man. Your energy, right? Then your environment, right? And there's multiple meanings to this. For example, most days, provided nothing crazy happens, I wake up around 4:30 in the morning. Yeah, get after it. I ain't fucking around. I'm out here. And the way I do that, I set my environment the night before. So I'll use my phone as my alarm, keep it on airplane mode, but it's my alarm. And I'll put it on the other side of the room, right? That now my environment's set up the way where I literally have to get out of bed to turn the phone off, right? Have you guys, who's had some big ass plans, and oh yeah, I'm gonna set my alarm, and you fucking turn that shit off and you sleep, you don't even remember you do it? We all been there. We've all been there, but like this sets my environment up in a way where I have to get out of bed to turn it off. Then right next to it, the night before I set up I have a pre-mixed, this pre-workout, man, it's really, really delicious. It's called a Rebellion pre-workout. If I were you, I'd go buy some, man. Rebellion pre-workout. I set that shit there, and like sometimes I crawl to the phone like a goddamn Vietnam movie where the guy gets his legs blown off and he crawls, and I turn it off and I drink that shit on the floor like a wino. And I just drink that shit, man, and kind of lay there until it kicks in. And then I like get up, then by that time I usually have to urinate, so I get up and walk to the bathroom, and then I pee, and then like, now, fuck, man, I'm up now, right? You see, that's one example of setting your environment up for you to win. Right? Another thing I'll do is like my desk at my office is a standing desk, right? Because emotion creates emotion. Have anyone heard that before, right? Tony Robbins says that shit all the time, right? Emotion creates emotion. So like, I'm up, I got more energy when I'm working. My environment's set up for me to fucking win, right? But it's also like the people you're around, like that's your environment. Like one of the best things about coming to events like this is you guys, the people you meet, right? You guys can network with each other. I highly encourage that. Because you guys are the winners, right? You guys are the people who are like dead fucking serious about accomplishing your goals, right? So it's good that you make friends and meet more people like yourself, like-minded, because that changes your what? Your environment, right? And if you have all three of these things, something interesting happens. So check it out. All right, is this shit working? All right, that shit don't work. That shit don't work. All right, fuck it. If you guys can see this shit? All right, cool. If you have discipline and goals, right? You're right here, but you don't have energy. Then it's like, yeah, you're like a car. You're like an automobile, like a high-performance car, right? Like a fucking Porsche or Lambo or something. And you got your shit in the GPS and you're ready to get to head to your destination. You hit the gas, no fucking fuel in there, right? You gotta have the energy to get there. Does that make sense? You gotta answer. But if you have goals and energy, but no discipline, then you're like a Jersey Shore character, right? You're like, yeah, you got all this shit you fucking want to accomplish. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, man. I'm gonna crush it and I'm killing it. I'm posting motivational memes and shit, and you're fucking hype, drinking Monster Energy drinks, douchebag shit. But you're not like, but you're not really doing it because you're not applying the discipline towards your goal, right? And if you have energy and discipline, but no goals, then it's kind of like, it's just weird. You're aimless. You don't have a clear destination. You're a Porsche with the fucking foot on the wheel going top speed to nowhere. Does that make sense? And if you have all three of them, man, you should be crushing it, man. You should be on this stage pretty soon, in a year or two, man, telling everybody how you did it and thanking me for. Tiffany told me not to. Am I done? Tiffany told me I couldn't ask any questions. But yeah. But y'all should let me ask some questions, right? Answer your questions. You got them right, right. Tiffany, the people have spoken. There's nothing I can do.